Hey everyone, welcome back to Cold Case Chronicles. Today, we're diving into the disturbing and tragic story of one of America's most infamous serial killers, Jeffrey Dahmer. Known for his brutal crimes and unsettling confessions, Dahmer's story has horrified people for decades. Fair warning, this video covers graphic details. Let's begin. Jeffrey Dahmer was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on May 21st, 1960. His childhood was relatively normal, though he faced challenges from a young age. His parents' constant arguments and eventual divorce affected him deeply, and he struggled with feelings of abandonment. Dahmer became increasingly withdrawn in his teen years, showing a growing interest in dissection and animal bones, which hinted at darker tendencies. Dahmer's first known murder occurred in 1978, shortly after he graduated from high school. He picked up a hitchhiker named Stephen Hicks, brought him home, and when Hicks tried to leave, Dahmer bludgeoned him to death. Shockingly, Dahmer would go undetected for nearly a decade after this murder, but this was just the beginning. In 1987, Dahmer's killing spree resumed. Over the next 4 years, he would take the lives of 16 more young men and boys, committing horrific acts that went beyond murder. His crimes included dismemberment, necrophilia, and cannibalism. Dahmer's quiet demeanor and average appearance allowed him to evade suspicion, often luring victims with promises of money or companionship. Living in a small apartment, Dahmer was able to conceal his activities for years. He stored body parts, bones, and even heads in his apartment, where the smell and strange noises eventually raised suspicion. But despite neighbors' complaints, Dahmer managed to avoid detection, even having encounters with police where he narrowly escaped exposure. On July 22, 1991, Dahmer's horrifying secret was finally exposed. Tracy Edwards, a man Dahmer had tried to restrain, managed to escape and led police back to Dahmer's apartment. What they found there shocked even the most seasoned investigators: photographs, skulls, and remains of his victims. Dahmer was immediately taken into custody. So, what do you think? Was Jeffrey Dahmer's evil purely the result of personal trauma and psychological disorder? Or is there something more disturbing that can't be explained? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, if you found this video informative, please like, subscribe, and click the bell to stay updated on more stories that uncover the darkest corners of history. During his trial, Dahmer showed little emotion, confessing to his crimes in graphic detail. He expressed remorse but acknowledged that his impulses were uncontrollable. Dahmer was ultimately sentenced to 15 life terms, which amounted to 957 years in prison. However, he would serve just over 2 years before his life ended. In November 1994, Dahmer was attacked and killed by another inmate, Christopher Scarver, in prison. The motive for the attack remains a topic of debate, but some say Dahmer's actions and lack of remorse left a deep resentment among inmates. His death marked the end of a haunting story but left many questions in its wake. The legacy of Jeffrey Dahmer's crimes continues to affect the world today. Psychologists have studied his case in search of what drives such darkness, and the media has extensively covered his story in books, documentaries, and even fictionalized adaptations. But for the families of his victims, the pain is a permanent reminder of lives lost too soon.